There was a time when I would scroll through social media and see posts about the pandemic we're going through, and the comments would just be like, this isn't about health, this is about control. And I would always just brush those comments off as conspiracy theories. Like, of course the government has our best interests at heart. Of course the government doesn't want us to get sick, and they're trying to take care of us. And then I found out the very, very hard way that this is not about our health. You want to know how I know it's not about our health anymore? I have first-hand experience on this topic. Okay, so my husband, after his first dose, got myocarditis. He had multiple doctors say that it was likely caused by the jab. Then they went back and said it was unlikely. Then they refused to write an exemption for the next dose. But now we found a doctor who absolutely wholeheartedly believes that this was caused by the jab. He wants to help us. He really does. But you know what he said? If he writes us an exemption, he's going to get investigated and he's going to have his license threatened. How is it that when a doctor is trying to help a patient, write them an exemption for something that severely harmed them the first time, is going to get investigated and have their license threatened? How is it about health? How is it about health when those other doctors are sending people who have had severe adverse reactions back to go get a second dose? Wake up, people. When doctors are being investigated and having their license threatened for trying to help a patient avoid something that harmed them in the first place, how is that about health?
I want to get to underreported stories as well. Jan?
For me, my kids hear me rant about this every day, so I may as well tell you guys. It's the crushing impact that our COVID policies have had on young kids and children. By far, the least serious risk for serious illness. But even teenagers, a healthy teenager has a 1 in a million chance of getting and dying from COVID, which is way lower than dying in a car wreck on a road trip. But they have suffered and sacrificed the most, especially kids in underrepresented, at-risk communities. And now we have the Surgeon General saying there's a mental health crisis among our kids. The risk of suicide attempts among girls now up 51% this year. Black kids nearly twice as likely as white kids to die by suicide. School closures, lockdowns, cancellation of sports. You couldn't even go on a playground in the DC area without cops scurrying, shooing the kids off. Tremendous negative impact on kids, and it's been an afterthought. Yeah. It's hurt their dreams, their future, learning loss, risk of abuse, their mental health. And now with our knowledge, our vaccines, if our policies don't reflect a more measured and reasonable approach for our children, they will be paying for our generation's decisions the rest of their lives. And that, to me, is the greatest underreported story of the past year.